So here's the story about how I sliced my toe. That was nice. Look at that. Oh, gross. Oh, man. So I've been doing Venice for like 10 months now. I'm getting over it. Just getting tired of it. Lots of things happening. Man, outside I'm just like, wow, it's so blue out there. Pretty wow. But anyway, yeah. Doing Venice for a while. Wasn't feeling that good. Went to the skate park. Skated a little tiny bit. Met one of the, probably the best skater at the skate park. I don't see anyone. To me, he's the best skater. I forget his name right now. Hayden? Yeah. Best skater at Venice Skate Park. Was just talking to him for a minute, and we were talking about surfing and skating, and he was mentioning how, like, he's like, the thing about skating, he's like, it definitely does not feel as good as surfing, but skating is fun when you fuck around. When you're messing around and trying weird stuff, you don't have to skate like everyone else is skating. So there's like, I feel, there's like a certain way you skate. First, you learn your ollies and you learn your kick flips, and you gotta learn this and that, and you gotta do this. But like, when you make skateboarding your own, then it's fun. And playing around and trying different things, and like, knowing that you can escape a fall, he mentioned that. Knowing that you can run out of a fall gives you like confidence. And what you need is lots of confidence when you're doing that. We got to talk about surfing, and I was looking at the waves from the park, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go surf. He's like, all right, let me say goodbye, and then go grab my stuff. And like, it was offshore winds at the time when I was at the skate park, and I was like, man, the winds might flip around. And then I grabbed all my stuff and I headed to the beach, and the wind did flip around, and there was totally onshore breeze, which is kind of lame, but went out and surfed anyway. And it's funny because, like, I have one singular booty. I don't know where the other booty went. It must have fell out of my car or something, but I cleaned my entire car the other day, and there was no other booty, just the one, the left booty, which is the same one as this foot. I was like, man, should I just bring the single booty? And I was like, no, that's stupid. Why would I use that? Blah, blah, blah. I wish I would have brought it. But went to the beach, just hopped straight in because I was already warmed up. And then I, paddled out to one of the breaks, trying to see if it worked. Nah, it didn't really work. Paddled over to another break. Meh. Paddled over a little bit further, and caught like one wave, and then paddled back out, caught another one, paddled back out, caught another one, and then there was another decent sized wave coming, and I was like, oh, this one looks like it probably have good shape. And so I got up on it. I was on my Tomo Revo, and popped up, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like getting some speed, and I'm moving around a little bit. This is literally only like 3 seconds though. I mean, Venice has the worst waves ever. Don't come here to surf. Don't come to Southern California to surf. Like, this place is the worst. But I was on the wave, and then it was I could see that it was closing out, and the lip was like right there. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do a nice hack off the top, because I had seen a dude do it, and I like, even though it was like closing out, and the waves were weird, man. There was a lot of backwash, and the waves were just popping up all of a sudden, and I think some of that is what happened. And so, like, right, you go down the wave to start your bottom turn, you come back up for the hack, and I'm doing backside, right? I'm goofy footed, and so and then I come up towards the top, and I throw that back leg super hard, boom. Nice, beautiful hack. It felt great. And then I think the wave jumped up at that same time too, and was like throwing over, and kicked out it threw my board under, and then kicked the board out from under me. And like, I remember like both my feet were basically on my stomp pad, and so like I kicked the board out in front of me. And my feet were really cold, so you don't feel too much when your feet are cold out there in the water. Water's like 60 degrees. And kicked out my board, and I was like, ow, that hurt, because I didn't want to land on the fucking fins or nothing like that. And then I just kind of, the wave threw me down, and I kind of just ended up falling, but my butt landed on the top of my board, kind of, and then tumble. And then I remember I was just like, that hurt my foot a little bit. And then I was like, I should look at it real quick just to make sure it's all good, because I'm cold and I know I couldn't feel that much. And then I looked at my toe and I was like, oh, everything looks fine. I don't see nothing. And then like I kept paddling. And I was like, I think I should get a better look after I got out of the right. And then looked at my toe, and I could just see the skin flopping off and like a little bit of like meat on the inside. I was like, oh shit. And then I saw like the skin like just flaps, like 3 flaps of skin, and I was like, oh no. So I was like, I'm done. I guess I'm done. I was in the water for like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. I don't even know, probably like 15 minutes. But yeah, I paddle out of the water and kind of go up to the sand, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, can I walk on this thing? Should I be walking on it? I've injured my foot before. Like I cut the top of my foot when I was surfing in Hawaii. I was like jumping off the board and landed on some rocks, but not enough of that. But anyway, I was like, same kind of thing. I was like, all right, I gotta get to the lifeguard, have him wash him off, give me some stuff, a little bit, just so I can get to my car. My car was parked like a mile away or so from the beach, like at least a 15-minute walk, maybe not a mile, 15-minute walk from the beach. And I was like, I sat down, but one of my friends just happened to be walking by, and we've been running into her all the time, and like she was walking by, and I was like, hey, and she's like, hey, how's it going? I was like, can you go to the lifeguard and get some bandages and stuff for me, because I just sliced my foot open. She's like, oh my god, okay. And then she like runs to the lifeguard, gets some stuff for me, and then just get some band-aids. And like during that time, one of my other friends got out of the water, and he's like, what's going on, dude? And I was like, I just sliced my foot open. And he's like, oh shit, no way. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know how bad it is, because it's like underneath my toe. I can't really see it, what's going on there. And then he's like, hold your foot up, let me see it. And so I held my foot up for him, and he looked at it, and he's like, you're gonna be all right. He kept saying that, you're gonna be all right. He was like a concerned dad. It was funny. It was really sweet of him. But he's like, can I do anything? I was like, it's like, my friend's getting at the lifeguard right now, grabbing my stuff. And I was like, it would be great to have a ride back to my car, because it's a far walk from the beach. And he was like, all right. He's like, I'll be over there by there. Just go ahead and like stop by if you need me. I was like, okay. So girl comes back with the lifeguard now. Lifeguard's looking at my foot. He's like, okay. He's like, yeah, it's like, you did some damage there. He like washes it off and like bandages it and stuff, and wraps it up. And my friend in the meantime is going to grab my towel and shorts that I left at the beach, and she gets back, the foot's all fully wrapped, and I like, what happened? We start driving. The lifeguard takes me over to my friend. I'm like sitting on the back of the lifeguard truck, just with my foot up on the tailgate. And he threw my surfboard and thing. We start driving over to my friend. Luckily, my friend is still there. He's like waving. He's like, hey, over here. And I was like, so we drove over to him. And he like brushes off the sand off me. I sit on the back of his car. He drives me over towards the showers, so I can just rinse off and get the sweatsuit and shit off me and all the salt and stuff. And literally on our way to the showers, he like stops. Somebody's like, hey, how's it going? Did you catch some waves? And like, I'm like, in my head I was like, I have a severe wound. Why is he stopping to say hello to somebody? And then like, I was like, oh, whatever, it's fine. And then the guy comes around. He's like, oh snap, someone's got a cut. And he comes around, And he's like, oh, tell me about it. He's like, what happened? I was like, oh, I just sliced my foot on my fan. He's like, oh, no way. He's like, and then my friend's like, dude, this guy's an ER doctor. And I was like, no way, that's great. I was like, I don't want to go to the ER. Because in my head, and I was talking to the lifeguards, I was like, am I going to have to go to the ER, dude? Because he's like, he's going to get some stitches. Like, yeah, you might need some stitches. But the ER doctor was there, and he's like, I started telling him about like what happened. And I was like, here, I'm going to just show it to you. So I just unwrapped, freshly wrapped wound and showed it to him. He gets under, he looks at it, and he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you definitely cut it. I was like, yeah. And he's like, but I don't, I was like, am I gonna need stitches? He's like, you might need maybe, like, but like that's such a like a tender spot, and like someone, whoever gets that is gonna have a heck of a time, and they're not gonna be happy about it. To show that underneath that skin, because like it's essentially like underneath, like, I'll show you. Ugh. Okay, so like imagine this is my pinky toe, and this is my second toe. So like the cut is like underneath here all the way to like the top here, and it's not super deep, but it's definitely cut through the skin and then hit into muscle. And I don't know, it's maybe like 5 millimeters deep or something like that, which for you American folk, it's not that much. Not, it didn't hit the bone, but you can see red meat, like really, really dark red meat. And but yeah, he's like, dude, don't go to the ERs. The ERs around here are absolute trash. Like, they don't know what they're doing. And I was like, you know, honestly, most ERs, I don't feel like they know what they're doing. They don't help me really ever. So that's why I don't go. When I have an injury, I can just fix it myself typically. And but this one was pretty, like, I never sliced the inside of my foot like that. And so I was like, this was the first time where I was like, maybe I'll go to the ER. You know, your adrenaline's pumping hard at this point, right? At first you don't feel anything. You feel nothing. And you just like, you're like, oh yeah, that hurt a little bit. And then like slowly as like time progresses, you like start to realize what's really going on, and it's like the adrenaline, you know, there to keep you alive and shit. And then yeah, I mean the toe is bleeding a lot. But the wrap helped catch the blood. But yeah, so the ER doc, he's like, honestly, bro, he's like, if you want to MacGyver it, you can just super glue that thing back together. He's like, I use super glue at the ER, at the office all the time these days. He's like, it's this purple stuff. He's like, we call it blah, 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 but it's just super glue. And I was like, okay. But I don't really want to super glue my foot, my toe. I mean, it's not that bad that I would like super glue it. But also I don't want to throw gnarly chemicals in there. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would heal. I don't know. I just kind of trust my body to just heal itself naturally without that. If my toe was like hanging off, then maybe I would super glue it, but it's not like that. My toe's not hanging off. It's not that bad. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he's like, you don't have to go to the ER. You probably don't need stitches. You could probably, because it just wants to stay closed. Your toe naturally wants to stay closed like that. He's like, so just like clean the fuck out of that thing, buddy wrap it, and like, he's like, give it like 10 days before you get back in the water. And I was like, 10 days in my head. I was like, fuck yeah, only 10 days. And like, oh, my foot's falling asleep. Yeah. So we go on to the showers. Doctor says goodbye. We go into the shower off, and like, then yeah, my buddy drops me off in my car, asks me what's going on. He's like, where's your family? Do you have any friends out here? And I was like, nope, not really. And I was like, all my family's up north, and it's great because my birthday's in a few days. He's like, oh my god, bro. He's like, dude, try to hit up your family and see what's up with them. I was like, yeah, they won't be any help, but oh, thanks, dude. And I just said thank you a bunch to him, and I really appreciated that. Get the ride. I can't imagine walking like, you know, half a mile or 3, whatever it is, to my car like this. Just wasn't gonna happen. There's no. Yeah, and so what's next? Then I drive to CVS. Toe's still hurting. Drive to CVS, and then I go and get gauze pads, wraps, and a fresh jug of water. And then I go and get some food, some Chinese food, some donuts, and then I pull up to the park and just chill and start. I think I started cleaning my foot actually immediately after that. So I went and like grabbed the water and I cleaned my foot, and it was just like pulling the toe apart, and just I could see the strands of skin that were just like kind of hanging on and shit, or the like of muscle tissue. It's gnarly down there. And just a lot of blood, and I was cleaning it and stuff, and my foot's asleep. And yeah, man, it's gnarly to clean your own wound like that, especially when you can just see all up in there. But it's also like really hard to see up in there because it's underneath my foot on my pinky toe. Like there's like it's like one of the most difficult places to see on your body other than your back. And yeah, it was hard to get into, but I was in there and I used my tweezers, dude. I used these tweezers. And I tweezed it, and I like pulled the flap of skins back and opened up the toe, just like peeled apart the toe, you know, and then got in there with these tweezers and was just pulling out the little bits of sand that I could. There's definitely some sand still in there, but I mean, I did the best I could. I pulled out probably like 10 or so little pieces of sand, and then I just like rinsed it off, used half a gallon of water to rinse it off, and then some soap. I got some African black soap I was using from Africa, and yeah, so got it all clean and shit, put on the new wraps, put on the new shit, and then I started eating. I wasn't really hungry. Honestly, I haven't been that hungry at all this whole entire time since the injury, but I'm like, I should definitely eat, right? I think. Sorry, that was me just remembering that I have a bowl of soup back there and it's not really covered that well, and I really hope it didn't fall and leak all over. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole story. That's how it went. Yeah, I had to like this morning I had to like poop, and because I'm sleeping in my car, I had to like go to the coffee shop, and then I had to like park behind it, and then I single leg hop. That's how I get around. I don't have any crutches, so I've been single leg hopping. I single leg hopped all into the coffee shop and into the restroom, and luckily nobody was there, so I didn't have to wait. And I just went in and I did my business, and then bunny hop or single leg hopped myself back to the car. And yeah, my birthday is on Tuesday, and today is Saturday, November 21st. It's my birthday. Today is the 18th. I bought myself Super Smash Bros. For my Nintendo Switch for my birthday. And yeah, I bought myself. Remember when the Super Smash Bros. Came out on GameCube? I like begged my mom to buy me a GameCube with Super Smash Bros. I was like, please, Mom, give me this birthday present. You don't have to buy anything else for my birthday at all. Just get me this. Like, this is the entertainment for my whole birthday. I was like, please, 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 please. And she's like, okay, all right. I think I gave her $50 or something like that on top of it. And yeah, that was so cool, and I got that. And so like, yeah, there was just a bit of what is that word? Nostalgia for yeah, buying myself a Super Smash Bros. Game. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna chill. Thanks for listening to my story, guys. I wanted to get it all out there while it was still fresh. I'll see ya. Do the things. Do your thing. I love you. You're amazing. Do awesome stuff. Like, you're freaking great, and you're capable of anything. Do it all, homie. Do it all. See ya.